for us now, and this is Angry Bird, you call it.
It's Angry Bird, yes.
I mean, the smell is unbelievable. Oh. I'm afraid I'm going to have to start.
Please start.
Oh, honestly. Thank you.
Please start, and then I'll just do this for the viewers and write the recipe down for you later. So it is tandoori chicken, and that whole tandoori thing is a really beloved thing in Indian restaurants, isn't it? So this is a quick seminar on how to get tandoori meat really authentic. So we are doing, let me just move this pan, because I'm going to do you some fantastic turmeric fries as well. That are good for you.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Do you like them?
Yeah, really good.
They're unusual and haunting, aren't they? Because they've got that fenugreek in them. OK, let's talk Angry Bird. So let's talk any kind of tandoori. Unusually, we're going to do a whole roast. And I'm actually going to, which is quite unusual for a roast, I'm just going to pierce the flesh with some really deep gashes. And you see, that kind of is slightly counterintuitive, because when you roast a chicken, you usually want to keep the flesh intact so that it's self-based. But what we want to do with Indian spices is drive them into those really impenetrable parts of the chicken, yep, which is those big, heavy parts of the breast. So we completely slash that. Don't be afraid. You know, and in fact, when it's cooked, the more you've slashed it, the more dramatic it actually looks, because you get that kind of colour and flavour going in. Anyway, we are making a marinade. Tandoori marinades are based on yoghurt and lemon. So here we go. And the tip is, the cheaper the yoghurt, the more low-fat, the more sort of average the yoghurt, the better, because it's much more tart and acidic. So this is all about getting the acids into a marinade so that they start to break the meat down and sort of form the channels for the spices. So we've got the kind of marinade base, and then we go in with our building blocks of a meat marinade.
That's why it's so tender.
Yes, that's why it's so... Yes. So one thing, Josie, one of the ways you get tender meat is by marinating it and leaving it overnight in the fridge. You don't have to. Ideally, you would, but you don't have to. You could just put the marinade on and get it straight in the oven or on the barbecue. So it's quite easy. So garlic paste and ginger paste. If you can get it, blitz them up. You can get frozen cubes. That's the best way to do it. Really simple. Throw that into your yoghurt, and then we're in with our spices. OK, so... turmeric in everything. Turmeric, you're cooking Indian food, you just get turmeric and put it in, because we get that lovely earthy base now, so turmeric goes in. The thing that makes tandoori chicken red is chilli powder. Oh. Here's a big tip. There are two kinds of chilli powder. There's the normal chilli powder and there's Kashmiri chilli powder. So you go to an Asian grocer's, Kashmiri is more red and less hot. Now, don't be afraid. Whenever I hate hot food, as you know, I really don't like, you know, I don't like it at all. But I was always alarmed when I saw the amount of chilli powder that went into tandoori mix. But because of that kind of heavy duvet of yoghurt, it softens the whole thing, so it's not hot. I'm hoping that's not hot.
No, but the flavour is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, everything you do is, you know, sort of a multi-layer of flavours.
The flavours are incredible because it is multi-layered. It's not no skill of mine. It's not some dark art that I have, but it's these formulas. So whenever you're cooking meat, two of the spices that go really well are cumin and coriander powder. Cumin gives you the gruffness, coriander gives you the floral note. So cumin and coriander powder you throw in. But because I want those extra layers that you described, those perfumes, aromatic layers, I go into my cupboard and I look for my Christmas spices, and you add in cinnamon. Good bit of cinnamon, don't be afraid. Whatever you might have, nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, anything like that. So I'm just going to use some of those sort of dark brown ground spices. And there you have your marinade. So we mix that up and we slop that on, she says, with finesse. And that starts to work into the meat. And you end up with something that looks like... Let me get rid of this. You end up with something that looks like this. And you're going to either leave that in the fridge overnight. I mean, this is a real roast and a special thing, you know, or straight into the oven. But can you see, Josie, it's as easy as yoghurt and what powdered spices have I got? Let's get them in. You've got to go in with that chilli.
It's insane.
Fenugreek fries, the next thing. Boil your potatoes. These are chips, basically, but Indians always cook potatoes with turmeric because those root things go together so well and it deepens the depth of potatoes. Boil them in turmeric, you end up with yellow potatoes that look like this. We then, bit of oil in the pan because we're going to shallow fry them, a bit of fenugreek powder. You can get it in any, I think you can get them in most supermarkets now. Bit of fenugreek powder onto those potatoes. And then they go in and they shallow fry. And that fenugreek, so that, as I describe it, this really haunting taste. Fenugreek's a fascinating spice. It goes straight into the endorphins. 90% of that flavour is on the nose. Adds actually very little flavour, but it does something very, very clever to you, and it's a very addictive spice.
What is, because those are absolutely amazing. All the details are on the app and the website. What's in this little pot here?
That is a coriander and mint chutney, and it's on the website. Coriander, mint, lemon, sugar, salt, touch of garlic.
How long? So the chicken is how long in the oven?
Chicken is in the oven. Let me just get. There's a done one here, so it's in the oven for.
Oh, look at
Pop it up here. 1 hour 20 minutes on 200. The way we do it, tend to cover it for the first... We were discussing this earlier when we cover it for the first half, and then you leave it to, you know, to brown off towards the end. But what's really lovely is to add a bit of... So I've just got some runny honey here.
Yeah.
Last 10 minutes or so, a bit of runny honey.
That's what catches and crisps.
That's what catches and crisps.
It's unbelievable.
Exactly.
I mean, it is, once again, one of the most amazing things I've ever tasted.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Amazing.
So lovely.
I want to move in.
Please. I would love that, actually. Honestly, we just naturally feed us. But, you know, just things like with the chips, so you could always do these as roast potatoes as well. So you could just, you know, as long as they're boiled in turmeric, fenugreek, and then you can just, oil
Amazing.
and roast them. They're fantastic. So I'm glad you like it.
As always, of course I do. It's stunning.